Happy Friday, everyone. Well, there's a chance of rain today through Sunday in southern Wisconsin, but it's not going to be raining continuously. So let's talk about when rain is most likely in your weekend forecast, sponsored by MG&E. And we're starting at 8 a.m. this morning. Got to mention a chance for isolated showers for the morning commute. Best chance in the northeastern part of the area. So most likely place where you might encounter a shower on your drive to work: Portage, Beaver Dam, Watertown, over to Milwaukee. But rain chance will temporarily go away. I think we're just dealing with isolated showers early this morning, but by 10 a.m., chance of rain going away for about 5 hours. I think from 10 a.m. to 3 o'clock, completely dry in southern Wisconsin, but as early as 3 o'clock, got to bring back a chance for a couple of stray showers in the most western part of the area, but most of us will still be dry at 3 o'clock. Let's talk about high temperatures. Very comfortable, low to mid 70s for most of us, as is typical for this time of year. A little bit cooler right next to the lake, only topping out in the mid 60s there. And it's going to be breezy this afternoon, gusts around 20 miles per hour. Let's continue to track the rain as we go into the evening hours. Looking at 6 o'clock, there's a little bit more showing up. It's still isolated activity. Could there be a couple thunderstorms? Yes, but mostly showers. I bet it's still going to be dry, though, in Madison. I'm not going to begin the rain chance in Madison until about 8, 9 o'clock this evening. And not looking like a washout for the Madison area. And notice at 9 o'clock how the eastern half of the area, east of Madison, is still dry. Look at midnight. The rain continuing to struggle to push to the east, where high pressure is trying to hold strong as this little low pushes in. It's a battle between the high and low. So what that is going to result in, I think, is mostly isolated activity, particularly for the central and western part of the area. But the farther east you live, the drier it's looking tonight. Now, I do think eventually the high is going to lose the battle and the low is going to win out. So eventually the rain will continue to push to the east. Now we're going through the overnight hours and into early tomorrow morning, but notice how it's still mostly isolated activity, but now a chance everywhere. I've got to mention it for isolated showers and storms. I will say, though, it looks like kind of like two opportunities tomorrow for rain. So a chance for isolated activity in the early morning. Then it looks like a lull, late morning, early afternoon, where maybe a stray shower or two, but honestly not much going on. However, once we start to get into the mid to late afternoon, now we're talking again about some isolated showers and storms. Tomorrow looks a little bit cooler than today, probably by a couple of degrees is what it's going to amount to, but we're certainly not going to complain about most of us still seeing the upper 60s, low 70s, and low 60s right next to the lake. It does look a little bit breezier tomorrow, maybe gusts around 25 miles per hour, but still not talking about crazy wind. Now, I can't stop there, because again, I mentioned this isolated activity in the late afternoon. Why I think there's going to continue to be more and more as we go through Saturday evening, and particularly the overnight hours. During the overnight hours on Saturday, a warm front lifting over us, so that's when showers and storms are going to be widespread, but certainly talking about scattered activity during the evening hours. So comparing tonight to Saturday night, tonight is looking drier than Saturday night. So if you're trying to decide about which night to go out, I recommend tonight over Saturday night. Although I will say the best chance of rain is going to be late Saturday night, but it does look wetter during the evening hours Saturday night than the evening hours tonight. Just a light breeze, gusts around 15 miles per hour. And I think the most common low temperatures Saturday night are going to be in the upper 50s, some just cooling down into the low 60s, and a few making it into the mid 50s. Now, best chance of rain is late Saturday night, but the chance of rain is going to continue into Sunday as well. Now, there's an opportunity in both the morning and afternoon on Sunday. I will say a little bit better chance in the afternoon, though, it looks like. And we're talking about a chance for showers and thunderstorms. But again, drier than Saturday night. Not as much activity as what we're going to see Saturday night with that peak very late Saturday night. And look, because of that warm front, late Saturday night, look how our temperatures are going up. Low 70s right next to the lake, but look how most of us are going to reach the low to mid 80s despite some rain being around. I will say a better chance of rain Sunday night, though, and a cool down, because that's when our next cold front arrives.